Joining me now, Boris, Epshteyn, Evan, Siegfried, and Nomiki Konst. Let me start with you, Nomiki, because, you know, Donald Trump, it feels like the events in the last week, you hate to talk about it politically, who it benefits, but sort of like the situation in Orlando and some of these other things, it seems to fit his wheelhouse. For the very beginning of his campaign, he's embraced law enforcement, and he seems to have a special affinity with them.
Yeah, he does have a special affinity with law enforcement, and it plays to an audience that plays with, but that's also the Republican base. And he has the Republican base, and that's not the base that he needs to woo. The base that he needs to woo is that Rust Belt, blue-collar working voter and woman. So if he wants to win this election in the general election, he should be talking about how he's anti-TPP and how Hillary Clinton has been campaigning against TPP, but the Democratic platform is for TPP. If he wants to win women, he needs to be more sensitive to women and talk about the issues that concern women, including economics and how it affects the small business and the home. Those are the issues that are going to win him the election. It's not going to be amping up the law enforcement talk that the Republicans already got.
Well, Boris, I mean, he's campaigning tonight with Mike Pence. There's some reports that there's a 75% chance that Pence is the guy. You okay with that?
I'm not going to be betting on that. And Nomiki, by the way, sounds like a Bernie supporter who is open to being a Trump voter. Thank you for that.
Won't give up on that.
No, there's a red shirt, and if you turn off the lights, it says "Make America Great," like, you know, glow in the dark.
What is going on?
On TPP, the platform committee just has been meeting. The opposition to TPP is in there. A law and order candidate is somebody who does, who is attractive to everybody. Who in this country doesn't want law and order? Over 80% of Americans feel that they were more under threat of a terrorist attack now than we were 8 years ago. So that's a huge number. Sure. And obviously, by going out and saying, I am the person that will protect you, that's what Americans want, and that's why he's going to be elected. How
important, though, Evan, is this VP pick for both candidates, but particularly, you know, Donald Trump, who has said initially, you know, there was speculation he would continue to be sort of a maverick, if you will, but more recently that he's leaning toward a so-called political type.
Well, he needs a political type. He might be good at deal-making, as he claims, but he really needs somebody who knows the intricacies of Washington. You need to know the parliamentary rules. And somebody like Newt Gingrich or Mike Pence actually bring that expertise to the table. I actually don't think Mike Pence is going to be the VP pick. I think it's going to be Newt Gingrich, and it's going to be on Friday.
You know, do you need someone, Boris, real quick, who's not obsequious, who's not necessarily a sycophant? Because I got to be quite frank with you. Chris Christie, you know, Hillary took that dig at him holding Donald Trump's coat. I thought was very effective. But Newt has pushed back on a number of issues. I think Donald Trump needs someone like that.
Donald Trump is somebody who is in the top of the ticket, both a tag dog, the brash candidate, and someone who's going to be talking about the specifics out there. So he doesn't need any specific type of VP. I actually think that people like General Flynn are interesting, but of course, as well as Newt Gingrich and Mike Pence. We'll see what happens. It's going to be an interesting decision.
One thing that Newt brings to the table is he gave a very revealing interview last week about race. And what African Americans and other minorities feel is that Republicans aren't speaking to them, where Newt turned around and he knocked it out of the park.
But he's not going to win it with minorities. That's just not happening.
He doesn't have to win it with minorities. 1% among African Americans.
Sure, but he won't win it with that number. What he will win it with, his weakness right now is in foreign policy. What Mike Pence offers, he's the House Foreign Relations Committee. This is a man who understands foreign policy, can be that side when we're in these times of crisis.
And people are going to vote on the top of the ticket. The VP is important, but in the end, what's most important is what Donald Trump goes out there and says, and that's attractive to
But the idea of bringing conservatives on board who may be reluctant, you don't think that matters right now?
I think the conservatives will be on board as is.
Sailed if people have already decided whether or not they're going to vote for Trump, no matter who.
You mean conservatives have?
And overwhelmingly,
they're either going to be never Trump or
once Hillary's in their face 24/7.
The Republican Party is already behind Donald Trump.
Let's leave it.
The Bernie supporters are coming over.
No, they're not.
This is going to continue with Lou Dobbs.